This story comes to us from NewYorkDailyNews.com. Couple of things I'm going to give you here about the Jordan Neely story. Now, Jordan Neely was a black man who had mental health issues, and I believe they said this was the guy that was the Michael Jackson impersonator, right? In the subways. But he had mental health issues, and something happened on a subway train where this guy, Daniel, we'll look at his name in a minute because I've got information on him too. But he gets the guy in a chokehold, and Jordan Neely ends up dying from the chokehold.
Heroism or vigilantism? The video shows 3 strap hangers subduing the 30-year-old man after witness Juan Alberto Vasquez says he got on the northbound F train and began acting aggressively, threatening riders. Law enforcement sources with knowledge of the case confirm his account, saying according to a witness, the man began shouting, quote, "I want food. I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm ready to go back to jail, and I'll hurt anyone on this train." That's when he says a 24-year-old rider came up behind the man and put him in a chokehold, holding him there on the ground. 2 other men standing over them also helped subdue the man. Vasquez says no one thought the man would die, even after he went limp. EMS arrived and performed CPR, but he could not be revived.
Well, the New York Police Department released photos of 6 protesters wanted, because then they protested that death. But 6 of them are wanted for jumping onto the tracks in an Upper East Side subway station during a chaotic protest against the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Now, cops are asking for the public's help identifying and finding the suspects, who likely will be charged with criminal trespass. They're saying that they were part of a crowd of protesters who lowered themselves onto the tracks, blocking an incoming train in the Lexington Ave East 63rd Street station. That's according to the police. Now, police did arrest 13 people at the scene, and the protest brought a busy Q train station to a halt Saturday night when everybody's out partying. 1 protester was released after getting a summons, and 9 got desk appearance tickets. The other 3 went through the system, all accused of assaulting police officers. Devin Fusaro, 29, repeatedly slammed the forearm of an NYPD inspector in the station exit gate. Well, he shouldn't have reached through to try to grab him. Oh, you're getting it. You're getting it. According to a criminal complaint. Now, when officers came to the inspector's assistance and tried to free his arm from the door, Fusaro kept pushing it shut. But she was charged with second degree, what was her name? Devin Fusaro is a woman. She was charged with second degree assault, obstruction of government administration, and trespass. She was released without bail after her arraignment. As a memorial service for Jordan Neely is being organized, his killer, Daniel Penny, awaits trial where prosecutors will seek a grand jury indictment on a charge of manslaughter. Penny was arrested less than 24 hours after the Manhattan prosecutors announced the charge of manslaughter, and then he was released on bond. And he's a former Marine, as I understand. So being a U.S. Marine, the question lies, will his hands be noted by a judge as lethal weapons? Because Marines in boot camp, they're taught certain self-defense techniques. The 24-year-old could face up to 15 years in prison for administering a fatal chokehold on Neely, who was the 30-year-old black man experiencing homelessness. Now, this occurred on May 1st. In the days following Neely's death, the NYPD failed to release substantial details about what happened on board the subway car leading up to the chokehold, as well as what happened in the minutes leading up to the arrival of the police. A medical examiner ruled Neely's death a homicide caused by depression of the neck, and cuts off the air. Lawyers for Penny, a white U.S. Marine Corps veteran, says he acted in self-defense. Now, this is another thing, and people hate when I bring up race. Why do you bring up race? Well, I don't even have to bring it up. It's just going to be in people's faces. A black homeless man, a white veteran. The white veteran kills the black homeless man. This could happen with anybody. Look, it could be any race. It could be any white, black, white, whatever. But you know, I don't even have to bring it up. It's going to be brought up because that's kind of where we're at today in our country's climate. It's just everything now is a racial divide. And people accuse me of, oh, you bring it up, so you're just egging it up. You're just putting fuel on the fire. Well, I don't have to put the fire's already burning. I don't know. Maybe I am wrong. Bystanders on board the subway on May 1st have said Neely did not physically assault anyone in the moments leading up to Penny grabbing him from behind, lawyers say. So he didn't physically assault anyone. He's probably just getting loud, and this guy was like, you better shut up, buddy. But a last note on this is that on Friday, lawyer Lennon Edwards said the Manhattan District Attorney admitted to him he could not recall a single other instance in the past 25 years where a suspect in a death case was released from custody after police secured a confession and video evidence, as in the case of Penny. So the Manhattan District Attorney said, look, in the past 25 years, when there's been a homicide case, I cannot remember a single instance when the suspect was released from custody. Can't remember a single one in 25 years. Yet this guy, this U.S. Marine or former U.S. Marine, Penny, is released on, released on bond. Why? Because he's a veteran? Because a homeless black man was killed on a subway? I don't know. But that's an interesting statement. Very interesting. First guy in 25 years that this Manhattan District Attorney can think of who's a murder suspect, or we'll say a homicide suspect, that was released on bond. First in 25.